Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for August 26th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 26 live feeds. It was day 41 in the house, and it was a very messy day. Oh boy, there was a lot going on here today, and with me to talk through this messy day is Chappell. How you doing, Chappell?
Taran, I'm great. I'm great. I'm excited to talk about all the mess. And I just want to point out to the chat because I see that we started a little bit late today. This is not my fault. I was not abducted. I am not a no-show Jelani Benjamin. So yeah, we're here. I'm here to do my yearly obligation. I told Taran one time I would love to come do the live feed update once a year. It's time. We did it. We made it.
Yes, the one time Chappelle was gonna do an update and somebody sent him the wrong link.
And it wasn't me. To
And
all
it
the people
wasn't
in the
me.
chat. Yeah, so there. We
It's the
here
guy
now.
that sends links. All
Yeah.
right, so let's talk about the day here today, day 41. So this is what we've got going on. Of course, T-Core, the HOH, she nominated MJ, Cam, and Tucker. And Cam won the veto. He plans to use it on himself. And so T-Core must replace him with somebody else. Her criteria was not Chelsea, not Quinn, not Rubina, not Chemo. And that left her with not many options left. Angela, Joseph, or Leah. She pretty much ruled out Joseph, and that meant Angela or Leah is where it had been narrowed down to the night before.
Yeah, this is interesting because we watched the reactions that everyone had to T-Core winning at HOH. Everybody's crying and falling out and pass out. This is the best day of everybody's life, except T-Core, because she didn't want to win it because she knew that she would have to make these hard decisions. Is that she was so good with everybody in the house that she definitely did not need to win this HOH. I know she won it on accident, but it goes to show you that really winning a competition at the wrong time can put you in a tight spot because she doesn't want to betray any of her allies and she's aligned with everybody.
Yes. So we know that on the night of day 40, she has it narrowed down, Angela or Leah. So, of course, with day 41, the day we're talking about, it's the final full day before the veto ceremony, which is going to take place today, which is day 42. So she'll, of course, make her decision here today on the day we're talking about. No, she didn't. No, I'm just joking. I'm just riling you. She didn't make a decision. That's the headline of the day. She did not. She's still, the progress is that she is still has it narrowed down to Angela or Lee. She has not made that decision yet.
No, she's working on it though. She's working on it. She's talking to all her trusted allies. She's running information back and forth around the house and landing on the same conclusion is that Angela could probably go, Leah could probably go because Leah might target them. I find this so fascinating because the whole time I'm watching T-Core this entire day thinking, but Tucker's still right there. Tucker is still right there. And what are we going to do about the Tucker issue when we get there? So I'm wondering, like, do these nominations matter? Does it really matter what we're about to do if we're ultimately trying to do a switcheroo? I'm starting to lose faith. There's too much waffling going on. I think it's too early in the week for us to be having these conversations.
Yeah. I mean, I am not going to bring you on the journey of what had to have been at least 8 hours of back and forth through the day. I'm just gonna. I'm to the point. We've reached this point before. I'm just gonna let you know what she decides when she decides. That's
Yeah.
gonna be the majority of that.
Yeah, I don't blame you because it's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of this person said this. Ooh, well, I mean that means a lot to me, but I'm working with that person, so I can't put them up. Okay, well, who's on the table? I'm really not working with this person, but I am. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to piss you off. Like I wouldn't want to do that to you either. So what are we gonna do? Well, there's always Angela. There is always Angela. It's like, but do we need to get Angela out? Is she a threat? It's like, she's won 2 HOHs. It's like, well, I guess she's a threat. Well, who isn't a threat? Well, I guess everyone's a threat. I don't know. Maybe Leah. Maybe we should go back to Leah. It's been a lot of that today.
A lot of that, yes. But that's not all that's been happening, so don't worry. There's some other nonsense going on, primarily with Angela. Now, we talked yesterday about how Angela, she stayed up all night, walking back and forth, transferring radioactive material from one side of the backyard to the other, which means she was sleep deprived today.
And you know what happens when she's sleep deprived.
We all know what happens.
Yeah. Crazy eyes. Matt somewhere is just like shaking his fist at the Lord right now. Just like, why? Let this woman sleep. Let her rest. Listen, I don't want her ever to sleep again, because when she doesn't sleep, she does wacky things, and it makes the feeds more entertaining.
She truly does. So there's a combination of things going on here. Angela did not sleep. And notably, there were 2 people really that were absent most of the night. Most of the house stayed up with her, cheering her on, counting down the days, or counting down the number of balls she had left, all the way down from however, like 1,000 down to 10.
10.
10.
10. Hey, 10.
Down to 0. However, Angela's favorite person, the person that she's supposed to be keeping an eye on,
I want to know where Tucker is at all times. My eyes are on that kid.
was not there.
Yeah. Hard to keep your eyes on him when he's not outside supporting you like all the rest of the people in the house. I wonder what he was doing.
He was sleeping.
Yeah, he was sleeping. I mean, he also has a punishment of his own that he has to worry about, and a showmance as well. So he's very busy. He's very busy, Angela. Maybe you're not a priority for him right now.
Between the showmance, the hand holding, and then not staying up with her like everyone else, Angela's starting to feel a little funky about Tucker. I don't know what's going on with Tucker. She has a conversation with him in the morning, and she's been hearing that should she be worried? Should she be worried about going on the block now that Cam has the veto? She talks to him about it, and he's like, "Oh no, you're fine. Don't worry. You're totally fine. There's nothing to be worried about. I mean, even if you did go on the block, it would be totally fine. I've got your back, Angela. You know I have you." Now, this is a mistake. Angela does not respond well to people telling her that they trust her and that they want to work with her and that they want to protect her.
Yeah,
you should not do that.
No. It's her biggest fear is that you're lying to her, that you're like selling her a dream, and that she's going to look dumb when she watches it on TV. She wants to feel like she has you clocked before you ever even try to make a move. And so when you get really close to her and start looking out for her, the moment you sway a little bit from whatever your actions were to get her, that's when she starts to like, all right, something's wrong here. I'm surprised that she wasn't just like muttering to herself during the whole back and forth challenge where she was just like walking around. I'm surprised she wasn't planning her next speech. She's like, Tucker. You used to say you trusted me, but I just can't believe it. It seems like a low budget performance. Again, I'm surprised that didn't come back up.
Exactly. So, I mean, you would think that he did a great job for a low budget actor, because guess what? Tucker is an actor. He's an actor. He's been acting. Angela, she also had conversations with Leah and MJ. MJ in particular was telling her, hey, he's going to tell you what he wants to hear, but he's only going to really care when he needs you. And that rings right in her ears. This is exactly what's happening, that he is ignoring me now because he doesn't need me anymore. He's been acting this whole time, and she goes off. She goes into the pink room, and she's ranting and raving to Leah, MJ, and Quinn He's gotta go. He's an actor. He's been playing me. This guy. He's had us all fooled. He's gotta go.
Look, listen, I see Angela. We know Angela. We know this character. We spent a lot of time with her, way more time than we ever could have thought we were going to spend with her. So we are blessed to get this far. But honestly, I do feel like there's a little bit of merit to her reaction here, because Angela, initially, when she came off the block via Tucker, she thought, oh my God, look at this guy doing this thing for me. Oh my God, we're getting along so well. He loves me. I'm his final two. This is my person. I want to keep an eye on him at all times. This is my guy. And now she's starting to realize that he didn't do that for me. He did that, and because of that, he is now benefiting from my loyalty. But he didn't actually do that to me. So even though her reaction is blown way out of proportion, I do think that if she really thought about it, she would see that he's just benefiting from a wacky move that he did for no real reason. He didn't have to save Angela. And it's not like he just wanted to work with her either.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Angela, again, she approaches Tucker and T-Core, Chemo. She approaches them saying,
I can be on the bottom.
I can be on the bottom. Just include me. It's okay if you don't want to. And this is a trap. You are actually supposed to say no to her, because if you say yes, she's not actually okay with being on the closer you let her in, the more she will hate you when you don't bring her all the way in. If you keep her at a distance, then there's nothing. She's not going to be mad at you. This is it's the complete opposite of most players, but you actually want as much distance between you and Angela as possible.
Well, you confirmed her suspicions. If you're not working with her at all, it's like, so there's still a chance. But if she comes in and says, you're not working with me, and that's okay, work with me now, you say, come on in, Angela. And she's like, ha, I got you. Now you've just proven to me that I'm on the bottom of this alliance when I wasn't on the bottom of the alliance just 10 minutes ago. But now I'm definitely on the bottom because I said you could put me at the bottom. You said yes. That's all I needed to know. Now I know what the pecking order is over here. You should have left me alone, because we'll see that there are some people that she never talks game with that she's willing to put her neck out on the line for by the end of this day.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Exactly. So that's what Angela's up to. We're going to put a pin in that for now. While this is going on, in the meantime, Joseph, of course, is going to be put into solitary confinement for 24 hours. He is still in there right now. But don't worry, because before he goes in, there are still some conversations that he has had with Leah. Leah, who is also worried about going up on the block. She's worried that she might be put up, and so she's gonna talk to Joseph. She's been talking to him for a long time. They've made a final 2 at this point. And she's just looking for a little bit of reassurance herself. She says, hey, Joseph, I'm a little worried I might go up on the block. If I do, I've got your vote against Tucker, right? And he says, oh, yeah. No. No, you don't.
Joseph is a lot. I spent a lot of time, this is my one live feed update. So I spent the entire day not having Joseph to track on the feeds because he's been locked away, and it's been great. No disrespect to him. I'm sure he's fine. But as far as his gameplay and some of the moves he's making and some of the way he visions the house, I personally just don't understand. So yeah, this is the same Joseph who's like, take care of my girl while I'm gone. Look out for her. It's fine. But do I have your vote? Nah. It's like, okay, Joseph, go ahead and lock yourself away. Go ahead. Let's just lock him up until we can figure everything else out.
In no world should he be saying you don't have my vote against Tucker. Like she could be on the block against, it could be Thursday, and he should not be saying you don't have my vote against Tucker. But it's not Thursday. It's not even Monday yet. The veto, she's not even on the block yet, let alone the fact that the AI arena could change things after. There's so many layers removed from this scenario even being real. And even if it was real, you shouldn't be honest about it. Why in the world?
and this is how he treats someone he has a crush on. You know, like what if he hated her? Dear God, what would he have done? Would he just like get out, get away from me, scram? You know, like this was so bad. Because you have all week. The veto hasn't been used. She could go and really go and tell people, hey, Joseph way too loyal to Tucker. Wouldn't it be crazy if we tried to split them up or something? I mean, you're about to get locked away. You're leaving her with some valuable information, and she's someone whose back is against the wall. But he's okay with that. He's okay because he told Quinn, hey, look out for her. Make sure she knows daddy's home. Daddy's coming home. It's all right. I think this is our one true pair of the season. I think this is the showmance everybody should be afraid of because he's just nagging her, you know, pushing her away, pull her in closer. Classic nagging, Taran.
Yeah, he like she's gone. She's wants nothing to do with Joseph anymore. Like she's done with Joseph. In the same way that she was done with Quinn. She is now both anti-Quinn and anti-Joseph. Except at least Joseph like actually did something.
Right.
Strategically.
Because poor Quinn has done nothing. He's done nothing to this woman to put her in this position where she's like, you know, what if y'all tried to get Quinn out? Wouldn't that be crazy? You know who you can't trust? Quinn. But we could cross that bridge later on. You know who I think might be getting close to Tucker? Quinn. I don't know. Just follow me on this one. I'm Leah. This is just a thought. The whole time Quinn's like, you know, we just can't let Leah go. I just don't know. Meanwhile, Joseph ain't even gonna promise to vote. What's happening? What are we doing here?
Yeah. So Leah is now convinced, and this has been floating around, but she is now convinced that this is a reality, that the guys are working together. Now let me just throw out some of the theories that have been floating around that even Chemo can sometimes believe, that the men in the house, minus Chemo, are all working together. Joseph, Cam, Quinn, and Tucker. And that Tucker actually threw the veto to Cam in order to protect Cam because it came down to the two of them. They said Cam didn't even win. Tucker just lost. And so he threw the competition to Cam to keep Cam safe because he knew that he could either win AI or be safe from the vote anyway. So that was his way of protecting Cam. And clearly Joseph is trying to protect Tucker. And then Quinn is involved because he's a man. So they must all be working with each other. And this is a theory that Leah now buys into because of what Joseph just said about Tucker, that he would vote to keep Tucker over his final two, seemingly. So this is, the MJ kind of believes this theory. Leah believes this theory. Chemo is concerned that the theory might be true, although he at least has the wits to realize that Quinn wouldn't be involved. And so, this theory is kind of floating around the house.
So the theory is wild. Yes. Okay. But hear me out. Tucker has done crazier things. That's the one little grace I can give her is that him throwing this veto and having a men's alliance with people that, I don't know, been putting each other on the block this entire time. Cam has gone up due to a man. Quinn has gone up due to a man. Tucker has gone up due to a man. They've blown each other's games up, but they're all secretly working together. Chemo was almost out the door, but these men, they're all working together. Fine. I can go with you on that journey because Tucker is insane. And so if you told me that Tucker, orchestrated this through this so he could get a little money or whatever and give Cam this win, fine, because I cannot tell you from day to day what Tucker is going to do. Aside from that, Leah's crazy. She made all this up.
Well, here's the thing, right? We know there is no guys alliance. However, there is a little bit of a through line here. Mm-hmm. Cam and Tucker have recently made a final two that both of them have ratted out. So it's public knowledge that Tucker and Cam kind of have a final two. Joseph and Tucker have a secret final two that pretty much everyone already knows about because it's so obvious. Like Joseph is saying, I'm going to vote to keep Tucker over Leah. So there's connection there. Joseph and Quinn also work tightly together. So it's kind of like a line But they are all connected to some degree. Now Quinn is the weak link here because he will be actively targeting people like Cam and Tucker. But if you just take Joseph, Tucker, and Cam, they are kind of connected there. Yes, Cam is still targeting Tucker to some degree. Like it's not exactly locked in, but you can see why some people might think that this is the case.
Yeah, because it really comes down to Joseph just not making any sense. Him telling Leah, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick Tucker over you," and we know. I mean, even Leah knows Joseph is feeling her. So it's like, really, what did he do to get you on board with him so well? And Joseph is walking around with his final two with Tucker like it's a badge of honor. You know, he's not definitely like he's not bragging about it per se, but he's letting people know, like, no, Tucker would have told me if that was going on. You know, people's like, hey, do you think Tucker's like, absolutely not. I know firsthand that Tucker, he and I are not aligned, obviously, but I know his intimate thoughts. Like, he told Rabina, he wouldn't have told Rabina before me. I'm sorry. Like, those are the types of statements that Joseph is saying. So anybody would connect the two of them. And then, yeah, you're right. Quinn is going out on a limb for Joseph in a lot of ways. In this final two that doesn't matter between Tucker and Cam, I mean, honestly, that is like a nightmare scenario for me. If we watch this season and Tucker and Cam are the final two, that means a lot of challenges are going to go in their direction. And that's going to make this extremely boring. So Leah's on the wrong track, but at least she's trying to do something.
Yes, and she really is trying to do something because she spends, I think, like an hour and a half up in the HOH room pitching to T-Core about how she's actually T-Core's best friend in the house. That I don't know if T-Core knows this, but Leah is actually her best friend in the house, and she's actually done so much for T-Core, and she actually roots for T-Core so much. And basically, she could have cried for T-Core if she had been given the opportunity, but the other people. They get in the way sometimes. And so, it's she just really feels like her and T-Core, they were meant to work together in this game. And hey, the men, they are all working together. And she explains the whole theory and the whole pitch. And she's again talking for roughly an hour and a half. So in response, T-Core says, mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was the conversation.
That was it. I mean, it was like a Leah paragraph, a Leah paragraph, a Leah paragraph, for an hour and a half, roughly. And
you say paragraph, it is more sentence, to be honest.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And all you get is And I'm thinking, okay, if you can't pick up that this woman she does not care about what you're talking about right now, that she's not interested, that she's not giving you any feedback, she's not asking you any questions, she's not giving you any push and pull. Well, what if we try this? What if we try that? Nope. Just, oh, thank you for telling me how much you adore me. I literally saw people fall to their knees when I won the HOH. I mean, Rabina cried for days. She still might be crying about me when on HOH, but you expect me to believe that you my real friend? And Leah, I think, might just be trying to convince herself that too, because she's saying, hey, why are they all in her face like that? Like they haven't been as close to her as I have. I'm Leah. We're basically best friends here. And so she's trying to convince herself, she's trying to convince T-Core, but I don't think anybody believes this.
Well, here's the thing. I think that T-Core has a little bit of a tell, which is that she when she is actually into the conversation. And she doesn't if she's not into the conversation.
Oh, so you feel like she was eating all this up?
She was kind of eating some of this up. Not all of it. She still might put Leah on the block, but she does come away from this conversation like, yeah, I kind of don't want to put Leah on the block. I feel like we could work with Leah. And she even says later, like, man, she's good. She had me believing in the theory for a second there. The problem is, Chappell, you are correct that if I have not been watching T-Core for 41 days, like if I spoke to T-Core and all she gave me was I would 100% think she wanted nothing to do with me.
Yeah. And I think,
she yet has the best social game in the house. It's working for her.
I think that T-Core probably took Leah's willingness to tell her stuff. Like, okay, you talked to me for an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure you ain't gonna target me. Now later on, T-Core will say Leah's probably the most likely person to put up my entire alliance, but that's neither here nor there. She tells us after that hour-and-a-half conversation that I think she's good. I don't really want to put her up. I don't really want to put her up. Now, I don't think she actually cares anything about this all guys alliance that Leah's pitching, but it did ingratiate her to Leah in some way, but it just doesn't stick. By the end of this, she like, I'm going to put up Leah. And then other people are jiving in front of this for Leah, namely Angela.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Pretty much every time T-Core talks to somebody, they convince her that she doesn't want them to leave. So like, it can be Leah spending an hour and a half with her, or it can be MJ spending 20 minutes with her. Both people convinced her that she doesn't want them to leave. So MJ is going to make a very long pitch to Rubina. And MJ has her own line of pitching now, which is like, it's just not fair. It's just not fair the way that people treat me in this house. I've been all by myself this whole time, and I've been on the outs the whole game. Nobody understands what it's like to be me in this house. Nobody gets it. Nobody's been targeted like me. Nobody's been on it at the AI arena and then been told that if I hadn't won, I would have been voted out. Hasn't happened to anybody else. No, nobody. And it's like, it did happen to Tucker, actually. Yeah, but it's not the same because he had like everyone told him, and not everyone told me, but like everyone told him afterward that he would have been voted out. But like not everyone told me because I'm by myself and it's just me. Like, well, it did also just happen to Cam. Yeah, but it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
No.
Not the
She's
same.
in a corner. She's in a corner. They pushed her into a corner. They're not allowing her to play. She just hasn't had a chance to. I think there's a little validity to that. Week one, they're like, you in a show match with Matt. She's like, what? I mean, I like the guy, but no, you in a show match with Matt. And I'm going to call y'all out. She's like, Angela, girl, chill. And since then, I think she's kind of been a block star, and so from her perspective, she's becoming that, well, if push come to shove and MJ is still around, we can just vote her out. She's becoming that spot. I think Quinn will incorrectly call somebody else the Bowie Jane of the season, but this is the Bowie Jane.
Yes, that's what I was saying. And so, like, listen, this is the thing. Similar to the Guys Alliance theory, like, yeah, it's wrong, but it's also like not as far off as it seems. Like, MJ's completely right. Like, she is the outcast of the season. And it did very much start from the Matt situation. And she hasn't really been given much of anything. The people that she likes don't like her. The people that she's tried to work with don't value her. And she is in this spot where like nobody has picked her up, even though everybody should have been picking her up ages ago. And so she's kind of hit a vein with this. Like, it actually is not the worst thing to be saying. The delivery could use some work. But it works with Rubina. Rubina goes upstairs. I had a great conversation with MJ. I feel like we can maybe work with her. MJ goes up and talks to T-Core, gives the same speech. And T-Core also after this feels like, I don't want MJ to go. I feel like I could work with MJ. And so at this point, again, it's starting to feel like every time somebody talks to T-Core, she's like, well, I could work with them. I don't want them to go. And that's because it's true. Everyone wants to work with T-Core. And so every time she talks to them, she's realizing, yeah, this person does still want to work with me, even though I'm considering or have put them on the block. So who should I take out? Who doesn't want to work with me? Nobody. And we just lost Chappell. Oh boy. So I know who Chappell wants to work with, apparently. So there's one other person though. There's one other person that doesn't want to work with. Oh, there he is.
I'm back. Technical difficulty on my end. My question is though, who is T-Core's target at this point if she doesn't want anybody to go? Like, again, she should not have won that HOH. She acknowledges it, but maybe throw it harder next time. If you're in this good of a spot, I know it was 3 questions in, maybe after 1 question, maybe go down in the first question just to ensure that you're not in this position, because not only is she already somebody who struggles making decisions, but she clearly didn't have a plan going into this for who she wanted, and it wasn't concrete enough for her to stand by it. Like if she came in thinking, I'll just pick off MJ and go on about my day, she folds very quickly. It doesn't take much to sway her.
Mm-hmm. So there's one other person to talk to then. She's got to talk to Angela. She's talked to Leah. She's talked to MJ. She's got to talk to Angela and figure out where Angela stands in all of this. And again, every time somebody talks to her, they convince her to not either not put them on the block or not want them to go home. And so now it's Angela's turn. She literally just needs to say almost anything, just any conversation, any like, I want to work with you. Like that tends to be the way that things go. And so Angela, of course, talks to Tikor, and she says, "Hey Tikor, I really, really, I feel really strongly about this renomination, and I really don't think that you should nominate Leah."
Yeah, Leah. You started this off saying that two options started the day being Angela and Leah. And by the end of the day, Angela is literally being like, well, why is one of your options Leah? Maybe take her off the board. Find someone else. Find someone else. It's like, Angela, it's you, baby. It's you. Every time.
And
it's
Angela
you.
knows that she is an option.
She does. This is weird. It's not okay. But also, Angela says this because, hey, I've talked game with a lot of people in this house, but only Leah. Leah's the one person I've never talked game with, ever. I need her in this house because I specifically do not talk game with her. Every time we talk, it's personal. It has nothing to do with Big Brother. It's almost like she doesn't want to work with me. Like she has no intentions of strategizing with me, and I don't have any intention of strategizing with her either. You should save her. Save her. Choose me. Pick me. Vote me out. What are you doing, Angela?
This is what I'm saying. You just don't talk to Angela, and
away.
She will be your biggest fan. That you just the more you talk to her, the more game you try to have with her, the worse it gets. So if you just don't talk to her at all, you'll be her favorite person by default because she just hates everyone.
And Angela is great TV, great feeds, because you can see the wheels turning in her head when she's about to do something loopy. You can see like there's times where she's like got her like her hair supplies, she's doing whatever in the bathroom, and someone walks out and she's just like glaring at them. I was like, Angela, what happened? They seem like y'all were having a perfectly good conversation. I mean, she eats sandwiches passionately. Charcuterie brings her to tears, and she goes into like these beefs over the smallest things. We need more Angelas in Big Brother.
Yeah, we do. Well, obviously not a great tactic to take to advocate for the other option instead of yourself. She also mentions to Tikor that she is aware of her pact with Chelsea. And this is making it clear that Tucker basically revealed this. There's some speculation that this may have been part of what was causing the feeds to go down. That Tucker was maybe making some kind of deal over this. But again, we don't know. But what we do know is that Angela is aware of it, and that Tikor is annoyed that Angela is aware of it.
Tikor, it'd probably be easier to keep this pact that you have with Chelsea on the low if you weren't telling everybody Chelsea's off the table. Nope, non-negotiable. Chelsea will not be going on the block this week. Nope, no sirree, Bob, not me, not on my watch. It's like, why? You just blindsided her a week or so ago, but now all of a sudden it's just nope, non-negotiable. Can't do it. Sorry, not Chelsea. Anybody but Chelsea. Chelsea, Rabina, and Chemo. That's my can't touch it. My untouchables. Okay. Remember, Taran? Remember untouchables? This is her untouchable. And now when people say, "What do y'all have a pact?" No. What? Who told you that, Tucker? I knew he couldn't be trusted. We should put him up. Maybe he's up. Is he up? We should vote him out. Maybe we shouldn't vote him out. Let's not vote him out. We're in line with him. Let's keep him close. Chemo, should we keep him close? Yep, keep him close. I like him. Yeah, this is what we deal with today.
Yeah. Yeah. So not great. Not great from Angela. She is now probably the top option in that moment, which of course changes immediately. So don't take it with anything. Don't take it as fact at all.
But
Tico
Taran,
does also talk to Chelsea. Oh, go ahead.
Taran, when Angela steps in and says, "Hey, not Leah," to me, if I'm T-Core, like, well, my job's here done. It's done. She said it. Y'all,
Yeah.
Angela came to me and basically just volunteered to go up. She said, anybody but Leah. She's not Leah. Oh, there goes my week. I'm chilling. But no, this gets way more complicated for no reason.
Yeah, I very much like, you know what, Angela?
You're right.
You're right. You make some really great points. You have, in fact, convinced me. I am not going to nominate Leah. So I'm nominating you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me come to this decision. You have been invaluable as an advisor,
Right.
and I really hope that you stay.
I needed a pawn. You said we should be going after Tucker. You're the perfect pawn. Who's going to vote you out over Tucker? He's right there. I just felt like she just offered herself up on a silver platter and gave you the reasons why. Angela obviously can't run this back because she has been campaigning against Tucker. So here you go. Perfect pawn. Sit up there. Good luck. Good luck to you. I think T-Core had it out, but she's so indecisive.
Yeah. So she does talk to Chelsea. She talks to Chelsea about creating this alliance that she really wants to create. Again, this is the other big sort of storyline of the week, is that T-Core is trying to create this new alliance that in her mind would be herself, Chemo, Rubina, Quinn, and Chelsea. That is her final five. She does not want Tucker in it. The problem is that Chemo and Rubina both do want Tucker in it. And so they have already told him about this idea. So it's going to be tough to make happen, and it's basically doomed to fail because of Tucker's involvement. However, T-Core floats the idea to Chelsea about creating some kind of alliance with Quinn, Chemo, and Rubina. Chelsea says she's absolutely down for that. She thinks it's a great idea. They all have their own strengths, and she is, of course, going to say yes to this. It's hard to say exactly how loyal Chelsea is to T-Core, mostly because we didn't see any of the conversation that they showed in the episode last night that seemingly caused Chelsea to say, T-Core is my girl now. I'm totally down to work with her. So I don't know if maybe that's true. Maybe she is totally down for this in this moment at the very least. Obviously, this isn't like the ideal end game for Chelsea, but I think she's at the same time very happy to be pulled into anything right now. So we'll see if this even happens. But these are the seeds of it here.
And T-Core is like, yeah, they should be happy that I'm bringing them into this. We say Quinn. I told Quinn we saved him. We saved him. Like, no, y'all blindsided him first. Y'all did that. Don't forget the Cedric thing. Don't forget how you left these people out to dry. So yeah, Chelsea's gonna say yes because where else can she go? But I wouldn't trust Chelsea long term. Not after that. I think the even the fans are still feeling the loss of Cedric. So I don't think the people in the house are gonna forget about it that quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we get into some late night shenanigans here because, again, I'm going to just start summarizing, but T-Core discusses with Chemo and also Rubina sometimes what she should do, who should be the replacement nominee. And you know what? They're just not sure. They should talk to Quinn about it. They should tell Quinn about Leah wanting him out. And wouldn't you know it, Quinn comes in. And so they talk to Quinn. And Quinn says, you should definitely not put Leah up. She's great. She's honestly, Angela, definitely bad news. Leah, I can guarantee you she will not put me up. She will not put me up. She will not put any of us up. Leah, definitely trustworthy. Leah, a couple of hours ago, was telling T-Core about how Quinn was not to be trusted and should be going up and should be targeted. Quinn, though, feels like he can guarantee Leah will not be coming after him or any of them. And that is how things are. And of course, Chemo and T-Core and Rubina, who have all talked about how they want to tell Quinn that Leah has been talking about him yet again, that they've been saying they're going to do this for a very long time. They, of course, just said nothing.
Nope. They could have grabbed his hand and said, baby, listen to me. she has been campaigning against you all day. She has called you the smartest person in this game. She's reminded us that you're a competitor. She's reminded us about the competition that you won. And she has been talking trash about you, which we've told you already. We've already outlined that she said some personal things about you thus far. She doesn't like you. She's not into you. Stop it. Wake up. Stand up. Snap out of it. They could have done that. But instead, they just said, oh, cool. And just let it ride. This is supposed to be your ally, by the way.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great. Chemo, basically, the most the chemo does is he's like, well, she did. Back when I was on the blog, she's like said some things about voting for me that I didn't love. And Quinn's like, who cares? And he starts going off about like all the people that he's lost and how he can't lose Leah. And it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. But then they get further distracted by the fact that he says, oh, and I almost forgot. I was talking to Angela earlier today, and she was going off about Tucker's an actor. Tucker's got to go. Can you believe it? And they were like, excuse us? Wait, what? Quinn is also going to tell Tucker about this later. And so now this is adding a whole new wrinkle to the operation. Should they now put Leah put Leah up, or should they put Angela up and say that because Angela's doing, or is the fact that Angela's anti-Tucker now a good thing? It means that by putting Angela up, we're not taking out a Tucker number because she's not even a Tucker number anymore anyway. And so does that mean we should put Leah up? And then if we put up Angela, then who does MJ have to go after? Because now we want to keep MJ, and so we want to keep MJ. But if we want to keep MJ, then we have to make sure that she has somebody to target. And if we want somebody for MJ to target, we got to keep Angela in the game, which means we got to put Leah on the block. But then put Leah on the block, then Leah's going to be annoyed at us, but MJ might be annoyed, and on and on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Quinn just needed to make sure that he was the one who told Tucker. That was the most important thing to him, was like, can it be me? Because I know if this gets back to Tucker that Angela is targeting him, for some reason, he's going to be like, it was Quinn. Quinn did it. And so I need to be there when y'all say it, or I need to be the one to say it to him.
And let me tell you, he tells Tucker, and Tucker's immediate response was, nah, this is Quinn.
Nope. Sorry. Don't
Quinn's lying.
He's lying. I really don't understand where that came from. I don't really trust it. Can you take their word for it? Who told you that? Was it Makensy? Yeah, you can't trust Makensy either. What are you talking about? Like, no matter what they say, he's not trying to hear it.
Chemo has now also heard about the Angela stuff from MJ. So when Tucker is telling them, I don't believe it, I think Quinn might be lying, Chemo's like, well, MJ also kind of was talking about it. He was like, they could both be lying.
Yeah, it's MJ.
So he says, I think that's a lie. I don't think that matters. Leah should still go up. I think she's the instigator. And he's got a whole theory about why Leah is the instigator and why Leah should go up on the block. But they push back. And Tucker says, okay, well, I'll confront Angela tomorrow. I will confront her about what she supposedly said. And I'll be able to tell if she's lying because I'm trained by the CAA in body language expertness. And so I will be able to tell if she's lying. I will confront her, and then that how she responds will help T-Core decide whether she's going to put Angela on the block or Leah on the block. That is the plan. That is how things left off overall in terms of the renomination, is that that Tucker is going to confront Angela today, and how that goes may determine who goes on the block.
Can we just step away from this a little bit, Taran, and talk about Tucker still sitting up on the block? Because no one really talking about it's like the loud secret that's in the room is, we should be targeting all these people. But if Tucker is still on the block after AI Arena, how do we not? Like, no one's saying it. I mean, I think even Tucker brings it up Tucker might have brought it up more than anybody else. He says, I'd be a really attractive target if I was still on the block after AI Arena, but I'm not worried about it. I think I got y'all. I think we're all good. And the whole time I'm thinking, really? Because if I'm T-Core, none of this matters if he's on the block. If he's on the block and we're about to vote, I'm going to everybody and being like, now is the time. Now is the time. I don't know when she's going to wait to execute this, even if she even wants to execute this anymore. But I thought I was holding out hope that the plan was all this other stuff if you can't get Tucker. But now I'm not so sure.
I mean, the reality is that there is, especially with Angela on board, Leah on board, like whether Leah or Angela goes on the block, there is now one more vote for Tucker to go. So in the event that Tucker is against MJ, Leah, or Angela, you have the other two votes, Angela, MJ, or Leah, already against Tucker. If you can count now Chelsea, who was pushing, and she was trying to get Cam, that's 4. All you need is Quinn, and Tucker's gone. And why in the world would Quinn not do that?
Mm-hmm. But
So it's actually pretty dangerous right now for Tucker.
yeah, but does T-Core want to piss off Chemo? Does she want to hurt her friends?
That's what I'm saying. T-Core doesn't even need to lift a finger for that to happen at this point.
Yeah, she'd be like, it just happened. What do you want me to do? I mean, she would then be betraying, in a weird way, she would still passively be betraying 2 of her allies that she claims she wants to go to the end with in Rabina and Chemo. But if their plan that they keep telling us is the plan pans out and it ends up being Chemo, Rabina, Tucker, and T-Core at the end, that's insane. Why would y'all want Tucker anywhere near the final 4, the final 6? Why would you want that? So if in my mind, if I'm T-Core, and again, she's not giving us really any indication that she's going to do something like this, except for the fact that she just will not name a target. She will not actually say what her goal is going into this week. I think that I would be hoping that this is going to happen. I would be in Quinn's ear. Yeah, Tucker still thinks it's you. I would be in everybody's ear. He just like kind of just like, yeah, he still thinks it's you. I don't know. That Tucker, it's crazy. Well, I'm aligned with him, so I'm safe. And I would just be making sure that everybody knew that I had nothing to do with this, but secretly hoping that it happens because he's right there. His jugular is just about exposed. He just needs one more competition to go in the opposite direction, and this could be the end of him.
Yeah, and T-Core dances around it like all day long. Like she's constantly talking to Chemo and even Rubina about like why Tucker is bad for their games, why Tucker can't go too far. Like she's constantly trying to undermine Tucker as much as possible. The issue is that her 2 closest allies are so pro Tucker that like she has no space to actually operate. But that's why the fact that it can happen regardless is kind of like, I think, intriguing for her, I would imagine. But we'll see. This is very much like a very bold move to take. And T-Core is not unfamiliar with bold moves, but she certainly does not enjoy them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
However,
go ahead.
Well, in the process of all of this, the topic of reconfiguring their alliances comes up with Angela potentially going on the block. And so, I think that T-Core is still trying to like prevent Tucker from really knowing about her ideal final 5. But Chemo, of course, is like trying to make it happen. Chemo and Rubina have already told Tucker again about this potential final 6 in their minds with Chelsea, Quinn, and Tucker. And so Chemo mentions, hey, if we're going to put Angela on the block or maybe even send Angela home, we're going to need like some replacements for the alliance. And honestly, if we're replacing one, maybe we should replace another because I trust Quinn more than I do Joseph. And Tucker's like, whoa, no, Joseph, I trust him implicitly. Joseph, I definitely trust way more than Quinn. And of course, this is reigniting the suspicion in Rubina, T-Core, and Chemo that Tucker must have a final 2 with Joseph. They've had this suspicion before, but the night before the eviction on it was Wednesday night, when Rubina was trying to convince Tucker to let Cam go, she also asked him about his final 2 with Joseph again, and afterwards she said to T-Core and Chemo, I believe him that he doesn't. He said he didn't, and I believe him this time. However, because of his adamant defense of Joseph in this conversation, her suspicions have been reignited, and she says, I'm going to ask him about this again tomorrow.
Point blank. They love asking people stuff point blank. I love that. I think that Tucker went about this the wrong way. Tucker said, nope, not Joseph. Anybody but Joseph. That does lead anybody to believe that, okay, obviously you like Joseph for some reason. You must have something with him. When Tucker really could have been like, Quinn is actively targeting me. I'm not dumb. I blew up his entire game. I don't want to be aligned with him. And I think anybody could understand that. I think that nobody in their right mind would push back against that because he's like, I went out of my way to get this man out of the house. And then he did the same thing to me. I don't want to work with him. And I think nobody would say, I think this has something to do with Joseph. Anybody could say, no, that's solid logic. But he's too protective over Joseph, just the same way Joseph is protective over him. And Tucker, if Tucker digs his feet in and gets what he wants, this is a mark on all the people who wanted something different, because you should not be allowing one person to dictate these alliances like this, especially when you have a better relationship with Quinn.
Yeah, it's just like these people, these fans of the show, they all want like to be the Dan Giesling. Like, oh, I want to be Dan and Ian. I want to be Dan and Memphis. Like, but they don't do any of the work. Like, do you know how hard Dan worked to make people believe that he wasn't with Memphis? Do you know how many fake arguments they had where they were yelling at each? If you think I'm gonna take you anymore, there's no way, dude. There's no way, bro. Like, they did so much work. You can't just be like, we're a secret alliance. Hey guys, I'm gonna vote to keep Tucker no matter what. Hey Tucker, I'm worried about them putting us on the block, the two of us together, guys. Like, you can't just not do any work to keep the alliance secret and expect it to do anything. Like, that's not how it works.
It feels like they really want people to know about this alliance. It's like you said, everybody wants to be the Dan. Everybody wants to have a secret alliance that is like, oh yeah, look at that alliance that nobody knew about, right? Wink, wink at the camera. You know, the Danielle Reyes and Jason of it all. Like, but they want the glory in the moment. They want people to be like, oh yeah, look at them keeping it under wraps, the two of them. It's like, that's a tight pair. We can't get. It's like they want to just be carrying this secret alliance around and wearing it as a badge of honor, when in reality, they should not be doing these things and connecting themselves to each other. If anything, they should be adversarial, because just the idea that MJ is going to go after Angela has people thinking that MJ should stay in the house. And once Angela's gone, what are y'all gonna do with MJ at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even thinking about that because they know, well, she has a target. So there you go. Not Tucker. Tucker don't have a target no more. All Tucker got is allies. I remember when Quinn was a target. That was a thing. Nope, not anymore. Tucker is just yep, I'm good with everybody, but especially Joseph.
Yeah. Yep. So this, again, I can't emphasize enough how long this went on for, how often they flipped back and forth between the two options and ultimately came to no conclusion. So there is no conclusion that has been come to. Again, it's gonna, like, Tucker is going to confront Angela, and honestly, I don't think that how that goes is going to matter. I think that they are going to continue to talk it through until the last minute when they finally decide what it is that's going to happen, because a decision will have to be made. It may come down to just like which one of Angela or Leah talks to her before the veto ceremony. And does Angela actually say, please don't put me on the block instead of Leah? Like, it could come down to any number of things. Stay tuned for that. Chappell, anything else you wanted to bring up from yesterday?
No, just that T-Core is her whole thesis this entire day was just, whoever I select as the replacement, I don't want them to go home. Whoever that is. So I'm just like, when you're MJ, you're just like,
she doesn't want MJ to go either. She said,
so what do you want?
I don't want MJ to leave. I did, but like initially she was saying she didn't want the replacement to leave, but then she talked to MJ. She said, I don't want MJ to leave. So now it's like, now it's even more important who she chooses as the replacement, because they could leave. And if Angela goes on the block, then Angela will need to leave. And if Leah goes on the block, then Leah will probably need to leave. Except all of it might not matter because Tucker might leave.
And she really wants Tucker to leave. She just that's what I feel like. That's the problem. That's why she can't give anybody a straight answer. Because if I'm Cam, I'm looking at her too like, so did you want me to leave? Because if you don't want MJ to leave, you don't want the replacement for me to leave. Was I the target? Am I the drama? But no, I think it's just, and I'm praying for this because I want more dramatic TV. I want bigger moves and all that good stuff like everybody else. I'm hoping T-Core gets the shot. Now, if she does not take the shot at Tucker, if Tucker is sitting on that block and for some reason he does not go home this week, I'm judging everybody. I'm talking, bring me on the stock watch next week, Taran. I have some things to say, some numbers to give out.
Well,
I'll be checking in
with you.
Yeah, I'll get the last laugh that week. I'll say that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was messy, but it definitely led us to what you would assume a T-core or chemo HOH is like, and that's indecisiveness.
Yep. Couldn't have expected anything else at this point. All right. So that is what we have for you today. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 26 live feeds, including who T-Core eventually decides she is going to put up as the renom. It does matter in terms of who it is, in the sense that they are somewhat likely to leave at this point, as MJ right now is the safest person on the block, though that could certainly change. And then I'm sure there'll be plenty of other stuff. We may have a confrontation between Tucker and Angela, which might be wild. So plenty to get to tomorrow. In the meantime, Chappell, the slop is going to be on tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna get sloppy. So if you have any sloppy clips from Big Brother, any social media drama, any TikTok, any Julie Chen, whatever mess, you send it our way. Make sure you tag me or the Rob Has a Podcast account in your sloppy tweets. Hashtag the slop if you need to. But let us know all the craziness. We've had a lot of conversations this season about some of the sloppiness. We talked about pineapples and butt plugs and all kinds of other crazy stuff. We watched a lot of TikToks. We read a lot of tweets. We've seen threads. We've judged your polls. So bring us some more information to talk about on the slop, because it's a great time. And Mary from last night's recap will be our guest this week as well. So I'm gonna see if I can convince her to wear her red outfit. I heard she had an outfit for a costume for red from last season, and she never got to wear it. Let's see if she pops up on the slop. But it's behind the patron wall, Taran. So you have to be a patron of RHAP to see the slop. We keep it back there because it gets a little nasty. It gets real, and we just can't let everybody see it. You got to pay to play.
You got to pay. All right. Of course, you can find me over on Twitch as well, hanging out, watching these episodes. The round table will be tomorrow night. We will rate these players. So tune in for all of that. Anything else, Chappell?
Yeah, I got some plugs. So this week on my podcast, Recap Kickback, make sure you go subscribe to that. If you haven't already, go to recapkickback.com/subscribe to join that podcast feed, or go to YouTube. You're already on YouTube right now, youtube.com/@recapkickback. Hit that like and subscribe button over there and show me some love because we got a lot of content over there. Mari and I just wrapped up our House of the Dragon coverage, and now we're giving you random weekly movies and black content over there as well. This week, we're talking about the murder of Air McNair on Netflix, the untold story of that, with so a little crime scene crossover, it feels like, with Mari and our special guest Jason Reed. So that'll be fun. You also can catch AJ Norris from last night's podcast coming on to talk about Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, in just a week. We also have weekly Bel Air coverage with me and Puya talking about season 3 of Bel Air. So a lot of good content over there on Recap Kickback, but you have to go subscribe and show me some love on the YouTube page to get that. Then you can catch me on RHAP talking about Netflix shows on the Nothing But Netflix podcast with Rob Cesternino. Last week, I think we talked about Incoming on Netflix. It's a really stupid high school movie. It was fun, but check it out, because every week we're talking about whatever's popping on Netflix. And then you can also catch me here live 3 p.m. Eastern on YouTube with the Peanut Gallery talking about Below Deck. Sasha's out, and so we've been rotating guests in. Last week we had F and Bowie Jane on to talk about Below Deck, and so you have to tune in this week to see who we have on in Sasha's stay until she gets back from her vacation. And so other than that, follow me on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback and at Chappell's_show.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today, and I will see all of you next time.